Okay, we've got another big company. It's Tyson Foods leaving Chicago. This is happening amid rising crime. Grady Trimble has more in Chicago. Grady.
Hi, Liz. Tyson says it's moving about 1,000 employees from this downtown Chicago office, another in the suburbs, and a third in South Dakota. It says it wants all of its employees under the same roof at its Arkansas headquarters, which it plans to expand. So like a lot of the other companies that have left Chicago and the Chicago area recently, it's going to a red state. The meat processor joins Caterpillar, Citadel, and Boeing in moving out. While Tyson didn't mention high crime and taxes in its statement about the move, we know those were factors for Ken Griffin when he decided to move his hedge fund to South Florida earlier this year. Crime in the city of Chicago up 37% so far this year. The pro-business group Illinois Policy Institute told us about Tyson's move. For businesses to thrive and grow, Illinois needs a less regulated environment and both property tax and pension reform to foster a stable economic foundation that retains and attracts businesses to Illinois. This latest exodus is not coincidental or unfixable. Liz?
Thank you so much. Great report. Such an interesting story, Grady Trimble. Let's welcome back to the show from House Oversight is Congressman Pat Fallon. Okay, Pat, Congressman, it's great to have you on. Sir, you just heard that story, right? We've got murder rates soaring in Chicago and New York, but Democrat Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot releases a video of her singing and dancing, and Democrat New York Governor Kathy Hochul releases photos of her making pizza for National Pizza Month. Listen, we don't begrudge people having fun, but this is coming at kind of a weird time. What do you think?
It's kind of like, Liz, thanks for having me on, by the way, like Nero and fiddling while Rome burns. And the fact of the matter is I was looking, as you do, look at data. And if you look pre-pandemic year 2019 to today in 2022, murders are up nearly 50%. And those in the 6 major cities in the United States, 6 big ones, New York, LA, Philly, DC, Baltimore, and Atlanta, are all on pace to even surpass the record crime surge that we had last year. So clearly these mayors aren't focusing on supporting our police and law enforcement and having DAs that enforce policy and convict criminals and put them in cages.
And Congressman, New York and now Illinois, they're getting rid of cash bail for multiple felonies. They're just going to release people. Police are upset. They're going to free hundreds of suspects accused of murder, burglary, kidnapping, and other crimes. And we have a new political poll shows a majority of voters say 77% say crime is a top issue in the midterms. And when you look at the data, you see 34 states, criminals set free and rearrested, 62% rearrested in a short time span. You're seeing, in multiple states, that is a problem, that repeat offenders are with 87 arrests here in New York City. We have another guy who was arrested more than 100 times, rearrested 103 times here in New York City. On and on and on. You see the data, it's really shocking.
Well, you know what? No cash bail, what it effectively does is, Liz, it puts predators back on the street and then makes all of us unsafe. And if you're not safe, then you're not free. So it's a fundamental right. It's incredibly, it just doesn't make any sense. It's completely illogical. All liberals want to do is feel good about themselves when they go to cocktail parties, and I'm tired of it. We've got to put these folks, some of these folks, unfortunately, need to be put in a cage and take that key and melt the damn thing, because they only they're like sharks. You walk by them, you're going to get bitten.
Well, they killed an EMT 9/11 first responder. A father was shot visiting his son at upstate New York college, Marist College. People don't feel safe. And this is especially hurting women. Women are now saying, stop defunding police. We need protection. Our producer, Claire O'Connor, went out in the streets of New York to talk to women. Let's take a listen.
As a woman, do you feel safe here in New York City? As a woman, I don't think I necessarily feel safe really anywhere, especially in big cities like this. There's been more riots recently, and there's been just more like dangerous stuff going on maybe in the subways and stuff.
My husband's with us, so it makes us feel safer, but I would not walk alone by myself out here.
Increasing security in our subway stations, etc., would help people feel more secure and safe traveling.
I know it's hard to get policemen today, but there could be a little more police presence. I haven't seen a lot since we've been walking around.
Well, they need to keep criminals in jail longer if they make a crime and quit criminalizing the hardworking Americans that are getting victimized, I think is awful.
I don't take the subway past really like 8 o'clock, which means I then need to Uber or cab, which can be expensive.
I feel like anything could really happen. You can't just say yourself like, this can't happen to me, this won't happen to me. It could, anything could happen to you, especially by yourself.
Congressman, do you hear any Democrat woman standing up and saying, stop with the crimes against women, stop with the crimes hurting children? Do you hear that?
No, it's deafening, and that silence is chilling. We should be clearly doing the commonsensical thing, which is support police and punish criminals. But unfortunately, it seems like they're trying to make the good guys bad and the bad guys good. And we have to stand up to it and draw a line in the sand and say no more retreat. Our police are our heroes. Our police and our first responders are really our community's military. And if we support the military, we should support the police and the first responders in the same manner.
Congressman Fallon, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you. Okay, we've got this story coming up.